Hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you're having an incredible day, and may peace be upon you. Thank you for watching the show. It Takes Courage with me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. I'm a visibility expert, TEDx curator, and also a multiple best-selling author. And today I'm going to be sharing with you the key ideas on how you can grow your book, grow your business using your book. When I was 8 months pregnant with my third child, Rehan, I had this burning desire to write a book. And this book, this within me, I kept ignoring it to the point when, it can't be ignored anymore. There feels this burning sensation, this yearning, this calling to have this book out. And when you're 8 months pregnant and you're tired and your back is hurting, the last thing that you want to do is to write your book. But I also feel that this book isn't just something of a whim. It is something that has been within me for years to come, like from years before. And I remembered it's from my childhood where my grandma Mamin has indirectly taught me about entrepreneurship. Like, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? What does it mean to make money? And there were moments when I remember when I was younger, on our kitchen table at my grandma Mamin's place, there would always be things on top of her table, whether it's clothes, it's jewelry, it's food. There's always something on her table. And when I asked Mamin, who are these for? And she said, they're for my friends. So in essence, Mamin, she teaches the Quran. So whenever her friends, her student would come to her home, she would have all these things displayed right in front of them. So she makes it kind of like easy for them to make the purchase, for them to see. She makes it visible for people to see the products and services. It's not hiding in her cupboard somewhere, but it's really visible that you could see, and then you start to get curious, and then you see it again, and then potentially you walk away with buying the items. And there was also moments that I drove mom into the mall, and then we went to this fabric store, and then there were a lot of different kind of fabrics, patterns, stripe, polka dots, plain, sheer, satin, laces, so many different types of fabric. And mommy would go and tell the shopkeeper, okay, I want that material, that one in that color, in red, in blue, in green, in yellow, whatever color that she chooses. And she would ask the shopkeeper to cut the cloth in 4 meters. Why 4 meters? Because she and her friends likes to use that cloth, that fabric to make our traditional clothing called baju kurung. So baju kurung essentially the top is 2 meters and the skirt is 2 meters. And I would then carry those bags of fabric to the car, help mommy out, and then take them out again when we got home, and mommy would put it on her table. And she would look at all the colors. She would admire them. She would, oh, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. She usually takes the one that she loved the most based on her style. She would take it, and then she would leave the rest on the table. And then I would ask her, who are these for? And she said, they're for my friends. And I was like, why would your friends want to come to your house to get this fabric? They can go to the store. And Mommy said that my friends are the golden ladies. Some of them don't drive, some of them don't drive far, and some of them just don't want the hassle of having to choose or make decisions with different kind of fabrics. So Mommy said that she's essentially making it easy for her friends because they come into her house anyway. So why does she make it easy for them and have those fabrics that have been intentionally, lovingly chosen for them? So they don't have to go to the store, they don't have to drive, they don't have to make the decisions, they don't have to think about what looks good on them because mommy has already done that. So this yearning, these things that I felt over the years when mommy taught me about entrepreneurship, planting the seeds of entrepreneurship. And then when I was in England doing my PhD, I was a few months pregnant with my eldest child, Oprah. Um, my husband and I decided to start an organic delivery business, delivering organic produce from the farm to the customer's door. Because we felt that there was a need in the community. I mean, because we wanted it ourselves, but there was nothing like it in the community. So we decided to create something for the community, which is, a passion of ours. And then that business grew. And so there's other little businesses that I started. And then, over the years, I've learned about entrepreneurship. I've learned about from momming, from my own experiences. But it came to the point where at 8 months pregnant, that it all came bursting through, like wanting to come out to the point that I could not ignore it. Because when you're 8 months pregnant, you can't really sit down. So I had to figure out a way that I can write my book the simplest, fastest way possible because I only had a few days before Rayhan, my third child, came out. And I can't cross my legs anymore at that point. So I developed a method where I could write my book within a few days. So it felt as if I had two kids, right? One is Rayhan and one was this book. And this book is called Moneymakers. It's a homage to my grandma Mamin. It's all about the ideas that I've learned on how to build a business. I don't have a business background. I'm a computer scientist. So I had to learn a lot of the things very quickly along the way. And there were many times when I failed. So I wanted to share this idea in my book, Moneymakers. So that's how it came about. And what's interesting about Moneymakers is that the name, um, when I thought about the name, I thought about what is it that's going to sell? The name. The name of the book is one of the key things when you want to have a cash flowing book, a book that converts. I kept thinking, what is it that people want? What is it that people want? There's a few areas that people would always be looking at it. One of it is money making, the other one is relationship, the other one is health, and the other one is beauty. So people would always be seeking these kind of things. So I decided, what do people want? People want to make money. And who are they? They want to be money makers. They want to, keep on making the money. So I decided, let's just try money makers. So I tested the topic out, money makers. And the way I tested it was that, I did a couple of cover designs, book cover designs, and then I tested out in my network, social media, mailing lists, which one do you love the most, and kind of things. which is fantastic because then I get the feedback of the people. Hey, what do they want? What are they wanting? Those kind of things. So it becomes an information session for me. Do they want this? Do they not? What color? What cover do they like? What color do they like? What's the feedback? What's the word? And the feedback was that people love the idea of being a moneymaker. So then I know right from the beginning that this is something that people want and people can convert to it. Um, and one of the things about book, as a business owner, you want to know that a book is really an easy and affordable investment to your brand. Sometimes people don't want to buy your courses or your coaching or your program or your masterclass, whatever that is. But investing in your book, a $10, $20 item, is easy, simple, and affordable. So that could be one of the first way that they start, by investing in your brand. A simple, easy way through your book. And what's cool about your book, if you do it right, that means that you're not blabbering about stuff and you're not kind of like making things too complicated. You make it easy and simple. That's one of the biggest things that mommy taught me about entrepreneurship. Make things easy for people. Make things easy for people, and they will love you for it. So, um, if you do it right, when you kind of like give them through your book a mini result, that's going to create the know, like, love, and trust factor between you and them. Why? Because you're giving them this mini result. You're helping them to move them in the right direction. So when you curate and when you write your book, you really want to be intentional to the audience about making things simple and helping them along the way, showing them the result. It's not just a testimonial based kind of book, okay? So as you kind of like use your book as a way for people to invest in your brand, the simplest, easiest, most affordable way possible. And then when people buy your book and they read it, and one of the things that people say about money makers is that it's really simple, it's bite-sized, it's straight to the point. They get the idea, they love it, and they go out and they feel good. They learn things, they get inspired, they can implement things very simply. So it has such a positive feedback, and that's what you want versus like high level, vague, complicated kind of book that is just gonna confuse people. So, first, it's an easy investment to your brand. Once they buy it, it can easily be a bridge between you and them. One of the ideas that one of my experiences is that one of my clients, Monica, she recently became a best-selling author through a book project that we created together called Women Who Lead. And then Monica, based on my strategies, updated her status as a best-selling author on her social media and her, everywhere else. So when she did that, her friend Jen saw that. She congratulated Monica, and then Jen asked, like, how did you become a best-selling author? And then Monica was like, well, I did it through Izdihar. So Jen then, looked me up, searched me up, got connected to me through my mailing, through my social media, and then she signed up for my mailing list. And then because of that, when Women Who Lead came, Volume One, the one that Monica is at, guess who bought multiple copies of the book? Jen, right? She loves it so much. She bought multiple copies. She, gave it to people because she wanted them to be inspired by becoming a woman who leads. And then once that happens, when I made a call out, okay, who wants to be in my next book project, Women Who Lead Volume 2? Guess who raised their hands? Jen. So Jen raised her hands and then she became a client because she wanted to join the book project Women Who Lead. So Just in this example alone, a book builds a credibility because becoming a best-selling author, having your name on the front cover like this is a big deal. It's solidifying your credibility as the go-to expert in your field. And then it's being used as an investment tool to your brand. When Jen invested in buying Women Who Lead, she invested in my brand, the simplest, easiest, most affordable way possible. Then, we started, when she joins the mailing list, we started to nurture the relationship that we had from one another because we built the bridge, we built the trust. And then she joins in as a client. And then following that, Jen and Monica has been in a couple of others of my book project, which is an absolute delight. And then following that, Jen and Monica then started to co-create a book project together in which they helped other women to share their voices, to raise their credibility. And they hired me to produce their project, which is, again, what a blessing it is, right? To help people to become best-selling author, to raise their visibility and credibility and make an impact and leave a legacy. And then Jen now, since then, recommended a couple of people to me, and she's now in my current book project, Women Who Trust. It's going to be coming out in May. So it is really, really exciting times when you have your book. It just keeps on going. Every few months, I receive royalties from my publisher because from the book sales. So it's such a delight to have a book. It's an income generation source. It's also a really great money magnet, a really great tool for you to attract clients, people to invest in your brand. And one of the ways that I kind of use my book to grow my business is that whenever I go to events, I would always take copies of my book. And then to the people that I have a connection with, that I felt something that somehow that inspired me, I would take a copy of my book and I would personally, sign things for them and leave them a message, a personal message on how they helped me, touched me, inspired me. And then I would leave my details in there and I would give it to them. And it's always a book is a fantastic way to plant a seed. It's a really special gift when you give it to someone. It is something tangible, a product of you, an extension of you, a piece of you that is tangible, is physical. People can hold it, touch it, smell it, read it, have it, take it home with them, right? They can just take it home with them as they go along with it. And more often than not, when I gifted my book, I use it as a business card at events. It created, um, the seeds planted becomes fruits, gives me some form of how do you call it, a return on investment, whether that person referred me to someone or that person became my client, that person wanted me to a joint venture, or they hired me for something, they hired me for a talk. It always becomes something. So your job is to write an amazing book, something that is useful and beneficial for other people, that help to solve their problems, and then uh, just plant the seeds, continuously and consistently plant the seeds. So I'm going to show you a short video of me, a short movie of me that we did.
My name is Dr. Izdihar Jamil. I'm a media expert and I'm a mom of 3. I love sharing women's voices without prejudice. I love hearing their voices on prestigious platforms, whether it's on books, on TV, on magazines, on podcasts, on TED, or FORBES. Their voices should be heard. I grew up in Malaysia, and in Malaysia we have the 3 biggest races, the Malay, the Chinese, the Indians. I always grew up in a multicultural country, and because of that I was really, really comfortable with who I am, what I stand for, how I look like, what I wear. and then I moved to America in 2015. But what I didn't realize, the American dream that comes together with American dream is the social adversity that I have to deal with. In all those instances, like, people couldn't hear my voice. They just had this preconception and judgment and prejudice against me just because I look how I look, I wear the hijab, I'm a Muslim woman, I'm an immigrant. So that's the point where I'm kind of like, I need to do something about this. Because I wanted to hide, I wanted to doubt myself, I just wanted to not go out. But it's not serving me, it's not serving my children, it's not serving the people around me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do more of myself out there. I'm gonna put myself out there on TV, on magazines, on TED Talk, on books, on interviews, podcasts. Like, there's gonna be like more of me out there so that people know, hang on a minute, this is not right. What she looks like this, but actually she is like this. It takes courage to wear the hijab in America. And that's kind of how the online coaching business and consultancy started with me helping my best friend. And then I helped the next women, and the next women, and the next women building their business, making sales. And now organically throughout the time, I've moved into media and authority building, because I've understood that over time, this is what I truly am fighting for your voice, for my voice, for my children's voice, for our voices to be heard. Today, I'm a best-selling author. I've been featured on Forbes, TED, TV, magazines, hundreds of media, and spoken to thousands of people around the world. No person should ever have to be afraid of who they are, and your unique voices should be heard on prestigious platforms around the world without prejudice.
There you go, the idea of how a book can grow your business and a little bit about myself. Thank you so much for joining me. If you wanted to learn on how to be a best-selling author in 30 days, go ahead and scan the freebie here. I have a short checklist on what can get you started and jumpstart your journey to become a best-selling author. So go ahead and scan it, or go to izdiharjamil.com, izdiharjamil.com. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Until the next episode, remember, be brave and share your voice on platforms, on multiple platforms if you can, because your voices needs to be heard. It needs to be heard and understood by other people so that together we can make an impact and leave a legacy. Until the next episode, this is your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil.